Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, so many stores have shut down now, whether it's vinyl, whether it's music stores, like the one across the road. But it's still very important for obviously not just to buy online, to actually come down to the store, see what's going on, to find out exactly what you can get inside the store instead of just sitting at home and doing it online.
This is live. This is Croydon, and what better place to start looking at the future of music than the home of music, Swag Records. Let's get indoors before we get mugged. We've decided to come to Croydon and apply a little bit of Jeremy Clarkson to the dance music industry. Let's see what happens. How many records do you think are in this record shop, Liz?
Well, because we've got next floor, we've got the cellar, and the top floor. I reckon it's close. I wouldn't be surprised if it's nearly 1 million records. I wouldn't be surprised if it's nearly 1 million records.
In store we have for you, we have Tech House, our in-house labels that we make, Tech House. Then we have Electro, then we have Minimal, then we have US. Then we have Funky House, then we have Urban House, then we have Garage, we have Bassline, we have Two-Step, 4/4, Dubstep, Drum and Bass.
Okay, Liz, you know everything I've just asked you? Answer it.
It is important to know about music, even about music that you're not familiar with. For instance, I wasn't familiar with drum and bass or electro house, but I am now because you have to be working in this environment. And you learn about music that you wouldn't have known about also because of your customers. Your customers come in and they want certain records, so you will try your hardest to get them for them. And when you do, it's a great feeling because they're happy, you're happy, everyone's happy.
Well, there's quite a few people. Obviously, the main clubs in London, which would be Fabric and the End, which obviously is shutting their stores at the end of January, which is definitely a loss. But I think Fabric, personally, out of all the ones that have helped us and have helped, I think, just the underground music in general, and it is it's a big super club, let's say, and they still keep their roots.
So what are the ways that Fabric, in your opinion, how is it that Fabric have managed to maintain 6,000 capacity week on week every time they're open? What's the secret of maintaining that success as a nightclub?
Well, I think it has to be really the staff, definitely. Either it's down for the general manager, Dan Coshan, down to Judy, down to the staff, even to the little runners that come around and put your flyers in your shop, put the posters up. They're here week in, week out. They're here every Monday. They come down, replenish the flyers, they have a cup of tea and a biscuit and a chat, and they're funny and tell what's going on about the weekend, and they're just on it. Every week they're there without fail.
Paul, since 1993, Swag has been a record shop.
Right.
And in that 18 years, you've seen styles, movements, groups, collectives form and disband and move on from that. Coming up in Ibiza next week, in fact, is Wiggle. Now, Wiggle is the home of Terry Francis that started here in Swag. He's very much a home sound. How important is it for you, and what do you think Wiggle has to offer somewhere like Ibiza in terms of change and refreshment?
Yeah, it's a really good question, that, to be honest. And I think it's it's really important. Where Nathan obviously is, he sort of, I suppose, immigrant, is that the right word? But he's moved out there this year anyway, which is Nathan Coles, which we haven't spoken about, which is Terry's partner. First big like mini festival now. It's teamed up with Mr. C, Girls at Play, Freaking Chic from France. Loads of different people.
Anyway, if you want to win this competition, what you get to do is you're going to spend a day with me down here at Swag Records, filtering through. You get a DJ lesson, you get to come to a gig, you get to live a DJ's lifestyle for a day. So the question is on T5M, which famous pop star before he became famous was a postman? That question again, which famous pop star before he became famous was in fact a postman? It's a postal competition, so if you could send your answers to the Shaking Stevens competition, care of Sparkie at t5m.com. And this is where being a DJ becomes difficult. Personally speaking, I've got probably about 1,500 records at home, which I could draw upon at any 1 minute to entertain you. The important thing is, how do you go from this amount of records to maybe that amount of records? To me personally, an average 1.5 hour set is about 20 records. So you've got to go from 10,000 records to your own personal 1,500 records, down to the record box that you carry, down to the records that you choose to present to the dance floor. And what you don't really want to do is get it wrong. This is Sparks World.